Happy Friday, everyone. Those of you who are joining us live, and welcome to day 7 in our 22 Days of Trance Work series. I'm Nathan, your friendly neighborhood Akashic Tranceworker, and today I'm going to tell you all about working in astral spaces using an advanced but actually quite simple technique that we call the Purpose Temple. So in order to understand why we do this, why we create these temples in our minds, in our astral space, it's important to understand what consciousness is made out of. Your reality, your consciousness is made out of associations, made out of ideas. Right now, I want you to imagine an ice cream cone. It's one of my favorite things to imagine. I love ice cream. I don't know about you, but just imagine an ice cream cone just for a moment. As soon as you do that, your mind begins to fill in all kinds of details about that ice cream cone. Is it a waffle cone, a cake cone? Maybe you don't like ice cream. That will create a lot of different thoughts and feelings. Most likely, some memories will arise. Maybe there was a time when you were 7 years old and your parents took you to the beach and you had a great time. Maybe not. Whatever your narrative, whatever your associations around that ice cream cone are, that is your temple, your construct, your complex to the idea of the ice cream cone. So one very simple thing becomes very complex because of the associations around it. So when we talk about building an astral space, and if you're familiar with the terminology that we use, our astral space is our inner world, right? If we want to build an astral space, we want to use our ability to intentionally vision, to intentionally recall and create constructs, ideas, thoughts, feelings, to summon those things up from our memory, from our consciousness, and build. Astral space is made out of ideas and feelings and thoughts and memories. These associations, these concepts are the building blocks of your own astral space, your inner temple. Now, those of you who have worked with us, who have done sessions with, who have been following along, you're familiar with the idea of going into an astral heart space, a place that you visualize or at least imagine, or that you remember perhaps. That's beautiful and green and flowing and thriving. It's a place where you call in those associations to you that make you feel good, that make you feel heartful. It's a very effective tool because it allows us to get to our inner place of peace and rest and respite and sanctuary, no matter what we're doing. We can access that heart temple for the purpose of finding peace and resonating with all the beings and energies around us. So that's the purpose of the heart temple. But as we've come to explore astral spaces, we've come to kind of see that our being is like a great city. And there are many temples within this city. We'll talk later about how far we've taken this city metaphor. But for now, understand that you are a being of many temples, and each of those temples within you has a different purpose. We often speak of the chakras. And chakras are temples of sorts. You can access the different temples within and connect to those dimensional realities. Each chakra has a temple: your heart temple, your throat temple, your third eye temple, your crown temple, circling back down to your root temple, your sacral temple, your solar plexus temple, back to the heart. Those are important energy centers, but there are also other spaces that you can create if you are an imaginative person within you for very specific goals and outcomes. And this is a way that we focus our energy. Now, there are a lot of different reasons that we do this. Obviously, you can visualize and imagine and daydream more or less depending on your ability. Maybe you don't like to visualize at all. Maybe that's not your thing. But we're doing this for a very specific purpose. We're calling in concepts and ideas. They don't have to be visual, but we need to be able to feel them. Your astral space is as made of emotion as anything else. So when we call in those associations, when we call in those positive associations, and we build that space, we give ourselves a sort of foundation to do some of the deeper work with. One of the main reasons that we use this idea of building a strong foundational astral space is because a lot of the work that we do, and we'll teach about this somewhat in this free course, and we teach a lot more about this in our Akashic Trancework initiation series. Starts in 5 days, by the way. When we go to this place, we're doing it because we want to build a strong foundation to do shadow work, to do deep inner work. We believe that we should have something to look forward to, something to reach for, something to elevate us, rather than just digging into the shadows. You could spend an entire lifetime digging up all the conditioning, all the limiting beliefs and constructs that we've carried forward from our ancestors, from our past lives, that we experience with the collective. We could spend a lot of time doing that. But really, what we need to do is focus on our purpose, focus on our goals, those things that we want to actualize and achieve, that we realistically and practically and pragmatically can move our energy towards. And one of the main reasons that we do this is because of a very simple principle. What you focus on is what you feel. And what you feel is what other people around you feel. And that's what dictates most of your experience, your emotional interactions with the people around you. So this is a way to organize, to partition all of the different experiences that you have within you and to focus them into a sort of diamond of energy, a concentrated energy around a given purpose. Now, these purpose temples, these focal points, sometimes we call them astral focal points, can be for pretty much anything. One of the more common things that people focus on is abundance, also love, good relationships. You could really use these for anything, but I always encourage you to, when you learn these tools, and they are very effective, they are very powerful, if you really apply them and learn them, they are so powerful that I like to put some sort of ethical caveats in there. That is to say, make sure that what you are trying to manifest is in the highest good of all beings, right? And there are many ways that you can articulate your purpose. There are many ways that you can say, okay, this is one of the common ones. You have a relationship that ended or that's not going well, and you want to create a purpose temple to get that person back. Sure, you could do that. And the power of your energy and your manifestation is such that you probably could make that happen. But should you? Always ask yourself whenever you're beginning to invest your energy in this way, because it is an energetic investment. If you decide to use a process like this, it's very important that you think ethically and compassionately, rather than try and bring that person back to you. Open yourself to love, to reconciliation. And that means that you are open to receiving, rather than trying to impinge on someone else's will or something like that. Usually, the universe will put us in situations that we need to be in so we can learn certain lessons. So understand, when you manifest something, make sure that you are ready to learn the lesson that has to bring you. It's very important. So how does this work? Let me explain it to you, and then I'll take those of you who are present right through it. So basically what we do is we go within, we go into our inner space, and we start in our heart space. If you recall, if you've been following along, the heart space that we go to once we're in the kind of light trance state is just a beautiful, green, flowing, thriving, joyful place. It's a place where we center. It's a place where we connect with our deeper selves, our spirit guides, our higher self, our lower self. It's really where we do most of our really important inner healing work. But sometimes we find that there's something that we need to focus on outside of that, something that we need to really put our energy into. So what I find is that it's good to have a sort of separation from the heart space, especially if the thing that you're working on has a lot of blockages, a lot of energies that are preventing you, challenges that are keeping you from actualizing that purpose. If that's the case, and there are many such challenges like old traumas, fears, limiting beliefs, it's mostly limiting beliefs. It's really what's underneath a lot of those things. We want to kind of put those things separate. We want to partition. We're not compartmentalizing. If you're familiar with that concept, that's not what we're doing. We're partitioning. We're setting aside a special inner space to work on these things, to work through these things, and to figure out what is blocking us, what is preventing us from working at these deep levels. And we do this with visualization, with symbolism, because that's the mind's language. That's the subconscious mind's language. That's the language of spirit, symbolism. That's what connects us to our lower selves and also what connects us to our subconscious minds, right? Symbolism, metaphor. That's the language that we need to learn to speak. Sometimes we call it the dream language. If you know anything about Carl Jung and archetypes, there are certain symbols that are so universally powerful, they have emotional significance to virtually all of us. But we also have our own private symbolism, associations, because of experiences that we've had. So the way we do this is we go in, we create a sort of separation, we go to an environment, and I'll show you here how that works within ourselves, and we build a structure. We imagine a structure taking shape as we think about all the associations around that purpose, that one great thing that we are trying to actualize. If we can really allow ourselves to build that space, to create that space within, to really pull up all of those associations around that thing, we are actually wiring our brains towards the fulfillment of that purpose. But what will also come up, and this is actually one of the main reasons that we use this tool, what will also come up are the challenges, the limiting beliefs, the constructs, the densities, whatever you want to call them, all of those things that keep you down, that keep you from actualizing that purpose fully. Those things, what we do with them is we put them down into the basement of the purpose temple. We have now found them. We've created some boundaries around those things, and we're not ignoring them. In fact, we are identifying them and we're putting them down there because once we've spent some time investing in this temple, in this space, once we spend some time there, we will be strong enough, we'll have the energy, the foundation, the support to go in there and face those challenges from an empowered, positive, confident perspective. Facing down those challenges that keep us from actualizing our purpose. So we're framing these explorations, these healing processes in a way that's bringing us towards a positive outcome. And it may be that you have no challenges at all. And if that's the case, then you can really pour in your energy. We don't want to presuppose or assume that we have challenges. But one of the main things that we use this tool for is to help people release trauma and what we call densities sometimes. So it's powerful stuff. And quite honestly, I don't know how much justice I'll be able to do it in the next 5 or 10 minutes. But those of you who are with me, I invite you to give it a try. So for this, I'd like you to take a moment to breathe. Press your feet and your tailbone down to the earth. And just take some time. Just take some time to really allow yourself to relax. Find some good neck and back support. Get nice and grounded. Press your tailbone and your feet down to the earth. Put your hand on your chest. As you breathe, have your eyes opened or closed. You choose to have them open. You might want to find a place on the ceiling or the wall in front of you to just gently, loosely focus your gaze. Just find a soft focus as you breathe. Now, imagine yourself in that beautiful, peaceful place, the center of your heart. Bring yourself there fully. Remember, that's your space. It can look like anything you want to. Just allow it to be. It's a green, living, thriving, growing space. A space of absolute peace and unconditional love. That's the space where you find your true self, your higher self. That's the place where you are free of all conditions, free of identity, free of all the stories that people tell you about who you are beneath. All the stories that you believe about yourself. Place of rest. Take some nice breaths there. Feel the air entering your lungs. Feel it leave your lungs. Again, just follow the breath for a moment, allowing yourself to float back. Whatever you're feeling in this moment is what you should be feeling. Because right now, I want to call to your higher self, your deeper self, your unconditioned self, the you that is without body, without gender, without time. You've existed across so many dimensions. You've had every form, every dimension of being you've existed in. I call to you, dear one, and I ask you a very simple question. What do you need to direct your energy towards right now, in this moment, in order to enable you to thrive, to enjoy life, to live to your fullest potential? What do you need to focus on? Where should you direct your energy? Take some time. You might receive a vision, might receive words, might receive all sorts of knowledge. Sometimes the voice of higher self is like a quiet whisper. Sometimes it's much louder. Take some time. Listen. Listen. Arawan shirawa se aunuruwa se ashiruruan sharunu anwaruna she. Hare Wanjara was one shadow, Saro, no, Yashi. Now, take the most simplest statement of your focus, your purpose that you can think of. Maybe it's abundance or love. Maybe it's something else. Expression, peace, family, virtually anything. This is a simple expression of your purpose. And as you think about this purpose, you may find that a door appears, activating within your heart space. This door will take you down to a place where you can explore your deeper purpose. Reach out, open the door, check in with yourself, make sure you are ready. Check in with your guides and hear that door opening. Count down now. 10 steps. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a deep breath and find yourself in a beautiful forest, a meadow with trees all around you, creaking in the wind. Sky is clear and blue. The sun is warm on your skin. There's a gentle breeze carrying the fragrance of flowers and herbs, all kinds of things that make you feel relaxed and at peace. There are birds and butterflies here. Feel a sense of deep contentment as you find a path leading into the forest. And as you enter this forest, you are surrounded by so many living, growing things, so many thriving things, so many things that nurture and nourish you. You feel so connected to all things, so relaxed, so at peace. And as you emerge from this forest, you find yourself at the base of a hill. And on top of that hill is a building you can't quite make out. It's a bit blurry, but as you begin to climb that hill, you are reminded of that purpose, that focus your higher self helped you to find. That thing that you need. So as you climb that hill, that building takes shape as everything that you know about your purpose, all of your thoughts and feelings and memories, all of your associations, songs and poems, colors and lights and shapes, all of those things that are related to your great purpose flow from you into that building and shape that place. It doesn't have to be a traditional building. It can be abstract. Maybe you're not a visual person. Don't let that hold you back. Just think of all those things. Feel those things that are related to your purpose. Don't go inside that building yet. Just allow it to take shape. You may find that other beings and guides come into this space to assist you. Let them help. Don't go inside yet. But if you find that there are some challenging thoughts and feelings, some beliefs about yourself, some fears, traumas, blockages, challenges to the full actualization of this purpose, if you find that you struggle with that energy, send it down to the basement of that temple, because now you know where it is. You will be able to face it when it's time. It's not time today. Here you are cultivating your energy. Spend some time decorating the outside of that temple. Plant a garden. Put up decorations. Call your guides in to help you plant this garden, to help prepare this temple. Perhaps it's a bit neglected. And now, ask one of your guides to watch over this place for you. You may find that an ancestor is one of the best, but it could be anyone. Ask this being to work on this temple while you are away. Anytime that you begin to think of something that is related to your purpose, send it there. Send it there. And in time, you will build your energy, your strength, your focus so much that when you go in to face those challenges, those inner challenges, you will be so strong that nothing will be able to stop you from clearing them and meeting them and moving towards the actualization of your purpose. So now, having asked kindly that guide to watch over this place, it's time to return, to come back through the forest path to that meadow, to pause and take a deep breath, feeling that sweet air. Back up those 10 steps to your own heart space. And there, in your heart space, for the next couple of minutes, I'm going to offer those of you who are watching this still, whether it's recorded or live, an attunement. You can receive this energetic attunement in your heart center, whether you're watching this live or recorded. If you are watching this, my higher self has chosen to come and offer this to your higher self, no matter where we are in relation to one another in space and time. So I invite you to open and receive this light language attunement now in your heart center to assist you in the actualization of your purpose. Hashewan Shurawa Ushandrewe Shuhawe Sheo Nuro Andrawa Se Sharawandrua Sheurandra Ushawi Unu Hewe Andrusha He Andre Wasarundra Unu Shi Uru Naru Re Undrawi Shi Ande Andrewa Surahushamwe Ngao Andu Alu Andrawa Sehinu Ahe Andrawa Washu Narawandre Au Nandro How is ya nang no ang ne a he ang no Aho sara ushandre wasehe. I invite you now to bring your consciousness back fully to your physical space. Look around. Stretch your neck. Roll your shoulders. Take some deep breaths. I'd like to thank all of you who are watching this, be it live or recorded. For those of you who are interested, we will be starting in 5 days our Akashic Trancework Initiation Intensive for 9 weeks. We'll be taking you through our entire process, our modality, and you can actually become certified to deliver trance work to others through this process. It's intense, it's intensive, and we'd love to have you along. So reach out and let us know if you'd like to join. 5 days left. And finally, if you're still watching, or if you just joined, if you haven't had one yet, I'd like to offer you a free 20-minute session with me. And we can spend that time doing a reading. We can do some sound healing, attunement, channeling, or we can just talk. So reach out, let me know if you'd like to connect. All right. Deepest blessings. Until next time.